What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to the channel. So we're jumping in with the update details for Black Desert Online's November 14th update. So let's jump right on in. Starting off, we've got some life skill hot time events that are basically going throughout the game. So if you are a life skiller, feel free to jump on these. So you can see here, the very first one is the life skills all-in-one for gathering, alchemy, and cooking. We got a 50% hot time now through December 5th. You should be taking advantage of that if you're into any of one of those. There will be a little mini game that appears when you're in the gathering, so that way you can double up the chances. You know, I don't really gather, so I don't really know how that plays out overall, but you know, it's there. But you're going to get those buff effects, which will help gathering item drop rates, your life skill mastery, and movement speed. Movement speed, while also recovering 10 energy. They also have the never-ending Dalatian's research. Get your cooking and alchemy buffs. So same thing with that elixir. Get that cooking alchemy 25 up. The other one that they have is specifically for horses. So if you guys are into your animal husbandry and you want to get up that horse skills, there's a 50% mount XP, 50% training XP. You can also get your Flower of Oblivions ×2 and your event Imperial Training Delivery invoices from the Imperial Delivery. So you can see here, these are the events that are basically going on. Collect these seals by capturing some of the horses in the game. Capturing horses is kind of fun, to be honest with you. All it requires, you go to stable, get some rope, get some sugar, and basically go play the mini game. You can trade these items in for Royal Ferns, Ghoulish Corsair training selections, and even your tier 8 horse emblem boxes. I typically stay away from these events in the game currently because they give us enough tier 8 horse emblems that I feel pretty good about doing them. And it's just not that, you know, it's not one of the skills, life skills that I basically do. So you can also exchange these items here for some of the horse, you know, your horse items in terms of like Fruits of Uneros, Breezy Country. So if you want to get those, you know, those dream horses going, then you want to jump in on these. So like I said, go out, tame your wild horses, and get over to those. Now, moving on to even better things, however, we do have another life skill event, fishing, AFK, right? If you got, or fishing, or actually passive and active. Shikatsu is back. He's got another request for us. So this is his second request. If you guys remember, you should be doing his first request, which is just requires you to play the game and basically be out grinding, kill a Faru, and they're going to drop some surety bonds for you. That's going to allow you to trade in some stuff. We're going to look at that here in a moment. Shikatsu's is asking us now to basically go fishing. That's it. That's all he wants us to do is fish. If you go and fish in some of the location and areas, we'll take a look at those here in a second. You're going to get a chest. It's called the Shikatsu's Merchant's Lost Chest. That Merchant's Chest has the ability to open up and get you the Shikatsu Merchant's Treasure Chest, gold bars, and some mysterious blue conch, and then some ancient relic and gold keys. Really not that bad. Now, when you open up that chest, you do have the ability to get some various items inside there and items that you're basically looking for. So take your way over to some of the usual locations for fishing, you know, Valia, Altanova, Valencia, Heidel, Duvenkroon, Grana, Nampu Village, Ilton, and Seoul, so that way you can get these get that going inside there. Now, what you're looking for essentially is basically to open that chest, and that chest is going to allow you to pop open moss covered maps. You're going to get the Ravina's moss remover, and you get a crow coin times 100. So these are guaranteed items, and you're looking for the moss covered map. You can put those items inside of your Yaz combination pouch to obtain a torn treasure map piece. So combine 9 different torn treasure map pieces to acquire the treasure map of a sailor and search for the hidden box deep in the sea. So, you know, that's essentially how it's going to play out for you if you look at it overall. Now, this is, as I said, is Shikatsu's second request inside of here, and this is a really good, you know, bonus scheme to basically just be playing in the events in the game. Like I said, you're going to basically trade in the sureties for the events over here. And to be honest with you, it's been fairly easy to unlock these and get these surety bonds. Actually, a little fun too, in my opinion, giving me something else to grind for. The name box that you're specifically looking at trying to get is the Shikatsu's Dreams box. Inside that Shikatsu Dreams box, you have the ability, or the possibility, we know that it's not going to happen, but you do have the possibility of receiving a pin or Tet type weapon. So we're going to purchase all of these right now, just for the fun of it, because I've been waiting to do this so that way I can open these things up, so that way we can see exactly what we're getting from these boxes. Or, you know, we all know what we're getting. It's cron stones and you know, crap like that we're gonna get. So I saved up as many of these as I could. I wasn't even necessarily grinding exceptionally hard to get them. It was just, you know, I played a couple of days and that was it realistically, and got the items that I needed to get. There's still some more items that you're going to want to get, like that Advice of Valks times 50 and the Advice of Valks over here times 100. So make sure you get those items in, because obviously these are really good ones. So we'll come back to those, and then you can, once you complete that, you can exchange Radiant Shikatsu seals to get just even more, you know, a max of 100 in those. So let's take a look at these items and see what we can get from our dream box and what luck we have. And I don't think that, you know, I think we all know what we're going to get. It's pretty much memory frags and ancient spirit dust and cron stones. The idea that we're going to get the tier 8 or the box for the weapons is just really not there, to be perfectly honest. Oh, look at that. I got the tier 8 horse symbol. And then we've got the noble stature chest as well, that has the ability of getting you some items as well. So the rest of the items, we kind of know what those are. You know, open those up at your leisure and see what you get. You know, at this point, to be honest with you, I think we all know what the rates are inside the game. Not necessarily set in your favor to basically do those. Now, outside of this, we do have one of the more comprehensive patch notes that we've had in quite a while. Specifically, I want to take time to take a look at the Hashashin, but there have been a number of improvements to other classes as well. Probably almost half the classes have been updated in the game. So depending on what it is that the character class that you play, you might want to take the time to take a look at this class. I'm currently playing as the Hashashin and the Dosa because those are probably my favorite classes to play, and I was kind of happy to see some of the updates for Hashashin. So let's take a look at those overall. So most of the updates for the Hashashin have happened to the Awakening. What they have said is that they wanted to clarify the skills on him, and they wanted to make some adjustments to make him more buffed so that way he has some legitimacy to his movement. So number one, Inquisition has been improved. This has been buffed significantly, to be honest with you. We'll look at those buffs in a minute here, but they also shortened the skill animation on this. So you can see here the skill animation kind of runs more quickly. They also changed the cooldown on this to 6, 5, 4, 4 seconds. So that's pretty decent as well. They also changed the recovery of the HP amount. So you can see down here on the bottom, it's 125 per hit. So it's 90, 100, 110, 125 at the skill set, you know, as you go up to tier 4. So at tier 4 is 125 HP now. This is a big jump from where it was before, because at the height it was only 30 HP. So this is a really good increase and change over here. Dune Slash has also been impacted and changed. So they improved it so that way the last attack that you have, you notice you can see it here running through, the last attack on it matches the area effect that, you know, Flow Dune Strike has. So it's a bit of a wider area in terms of using it. They also improved the ability to transition into Piercing Fang with Dune Strike. So I can't say that I'm necessarily like popping off, you know, Piercing Fangs, you know, like the best, to be perfectly honest, in my skill rotations. I kind of go with other things, but we'll see how that stacks up. Silent Breach has also been improved. This skill, they improved the super armor so that way it lasts just until before he attacks in certain situations. And this one's going to probably be finicky at the best. Ensnaring Sands has been improved, but then perhaps the biggest one is the change that they've done to Retribution and Serpent's Quill. So essentially Serpent's Quill now has the HP regeneration that was on Retribution. So they basically removed it from there, and so they added 100% recover HP, 100 HP per hit on Serpent's Quill. I think as Serpent's Quill and Ensnaring Sands like bread and butter. I think it's better there anyways. It was on this skill, but you know, and you definitely should be using Retribution, but I think it was better that it was on Serpent's Quill, so that way you're getting it per hit. Like that's a lot of HP recovery, and so far I've played with it. I wasn't necessarily losing HP so much with my Hashashin as that I was concerned with, but it is nice to see that HP recovery inside of the skill kit. They also added the attack speed plus 10 for 10 seconds on Retribution inside there, so pay attention to that. Paradise Surge has received a reduction in its stamina costs, so from 250 to 200, and then when using the Way of All from 400 to 300. So now I want to show you exactly what I mean by some of the buffs in the game overall. if you were paying attention to the skills and you remember them from where they were, then, you know, in luck. If you weren't, if you don't know what they exactly was in prior, now you can see the numbers here. These are some pretty substantial buffs in some areas. For instance, like with the Inquisition, you can see here from 1369 all the way to 6204. That is a huge buff. That's more than 50% buff inside there. And then you can look at like Sin Splitter. You can see Collapse. These have received about 10 to 15% buff. You can look at the Black Spirit Collapse, Black Spirit Doom Slash, and Ensnaring Sands, and see that they've also received significant buffs, specifically Piercing Fang as well. The attack damage has gone up to 3,100. You guys see the number. Jeez, I'm bad at numbers. But in the meantime, take a look at some of the other classes who have received some buffs inside of the game, while I take you over to Dosa, who I think a lot of people are going to be a little bit disappointed in to see that we're receiving nerfs for a character class that was just introduced. So they did feel that the Dosa was just outperforming by immensely other classes, and I will say that the class was relatively smooth inside you know, PvE grinds. I was enjoying the class a lot, and to be honest with you, I'm still enjoying the class. I don't really think that the nerfs in here have really affected the way the character plays, but I'm not a min-maxer, so I'm not looking at whether or not, you know, the reduction by 10% or 15% is impacting the character class in a way where it's like I'm not eking out, you know, this many more drops per second than, or per hour than that one. I'm really looking at whether or not the class still feels fun to play, and none of these realistically feel as if though they've affected the class. So you can see here the main succession, Prime Cloud, Legion, and then we have like a number of prime abilities in the succession that have been nerfed by about 10 to 15%, as I said, depending on the skill. Like I said, I don't really play succession Dosa, but I do play Awakening, and he has received some similar effects inside of here. The biggest one was the elements generate, in my opinion. You go on by probably like more than 25% in terms of like its reduction here. The rest of them have received about 10%, like I said, 10 to 15% reduction in their attack values and so forth. But to be honest with you, even running over at some of the places that I'm running, I don't really seem to notice a difference. The character class still pretty much plays, and it's kind of fun. So I'm not really harping on the way that they're doing that overall. I think most players, you know, that are playing, you're really just looking for the fun of the character class, and I think the Dosa still remains fun to play with. If you're in the min-maxing, then, you know, go ahead. Imperial Crafting and Delivery is stable and regular income source for users. The daily delivery quantities and stuff like that have been separated, so improvements have been made to the weights and things like that. So if you're into delivery, Imperial deliveries, you want to take a look at these notes to see what some of the weight reductions have been. That's pretty much the majority of what's going on there. The guild manners have been improved as well. Not necessarily anything significant in my opinion, but you can see like the furniture weight adjustments that have been made across all the item types as well. That's pretty decent, I guess, if you're carrying around a lot of furniture. And then lastly, the thing that I wanted to point out is the new prize catch fish that they've added to the game. So we've got almost 45 or over 45 new species of fish to catch in the game. We've got one pink dolphin, which is a billion base price for the fish. That's really nice, right? And then all the way down as far as the electric catfish, which will give you about 15 million in gold, in silver for trading that item in. So pairing this with the Shikatu's request is really, really nice. I haven't necessarily seen any of these fish. I don't know if that means I'm gonna have to go out and deep sea fish in order to see this. Maybe I will, but yeah, we'll see what happens. So you can see here that it says prize catfish can be caught at specific points in fresh and seawater and can be sold at high prices through trade managers. So I actually enjoy fishing, and I think I'm 25 guru is what I'm at. So yeah, go take a look at the fishing and see if this is something that you're really interested in. See if you get caught. I haven't heard anybody say that they've caught a pink dolphin or any one of these fish, but I have seen some of the other fish basically come up on like people have told me that they caught a fish inside my clan and stuff like that, like the sea angel I think somebody caught. But where to catch these is the question, right? So you can see they also increased the fish vendor prices as well. So pay attention to those, and they've changed the barter, so they're still on there paring down of inventory items and stuff like that. So pay attention to those. The rest of these changes really probably not going to affect a whole lot of people in the game. You know, we do have the Lumaloft light Lumaloft lamp rather for event that's going inside there as well, so you can collect some items and add a lamp to your carts. And then the guild rewards basically have been changed as well. War of the Roses is still going on, so jump into War of Roses. I really want to get into that at some point. And then lastly, in pairing with the Shikatu's previous requests, they've changed a Faru to have like this really glowing orange effect, and where he appears nearby when he does, because he was appearing somewhat far away from the team, but really the mini map kind of facilitated knowing exactly where Faru is anyways. But now if you just didn't want to look at the mini map, you can look directly and see him pretty glowing and radiant as orange. So those are pretty much all the updates that's going on for the game. Pay attention to the UI. I noticed when I logged in this week and I had some things going on with the UI, I was having some troubles and I had to basically modify and change my UI throughout the game. But you know, like I said, overall it's been pretty good update and comprehensive in terms of those. Let me know in the comment section below if you've enjoyed some of the buffs that your class has received, and if not, either way, please do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow and helps me bring you guys more content and stay dedicated in providing you guys. Until next time, guys, peace.